Hello there, folks. This is Written Writ Ralph here with Apple Bites, and we are getting ready to continue our spooktacular with Carissa Grant and her Beautiful Redemption series, as well as our guest host, M. Sorcier. And of course, Lee is here to talk about this weekend at New York Comic Con and the radio play for Designated.
Sorry to cut you off, but apparently John didn't get the invite. That's why.
I sent him the link.
Oh, excellent. Thank you.
Okay, I was going to say, I thought one of you guys sent it to him, so I didn't send it to him.
Oh, no. Yeah, I asked him where he was. We're waiting for him, and he's like, nobody sent me the link. I was like, no. Okay, take mine.
Oh, womp womp. All right.
You know, that's why you love live shows, people. There goes Son of Saint saying hi. Hey, Son of Saint.
Hey.
Hello.
Oh my God, I enjoy October. October is always fun, and I love doing our spooktacular. And Carissa, I love your series. It's so much fun, and I like the fact that you actually were asking the people what they wanted for for the tiers.
Yeah, and so I don't know if you saw the one about the cover choice. So I wanted the clear. There's two covers of the same. One's clear and one is like artistically scratched. And I posted about which one people liked, because the artist asked me, and I can't make decisions. So I was like, I sent it to everybody. So not only was it very split down the middle, they were so adamant on both sides. Like they have complete like reasons for it. Well, it's really dark, so it belongs, you need the scratches, and someone else would be like, and then it'd be like paragraphs. It's just like scratches, no scratches. It was these huge paragraphs of it.
Like people are literally writing their dissertations about why they like each variant.
And they were
That's
so
hilarious
adamant about it. And they're like, oh, well, the clear one is all, it's darker and brighter. And I was like, yeah, I like the. So now there's a war going on between which one's going to win. So right now, mine's
I remember
winning.
that.
I just want to point that out. Mine is winning. The no scratches is winning. But so if you want, you can go buy either one of them. But if you buy both of them, I still win. So you can go and buy both.
Dude, yeah, just buy all of them. Then the creator wins.
Exactly. You want the collector's edition and the collector's edition,
And the collector's edition.
Exactly.
There's a metal version which is clear, and there's buy all three covers, and the default is scratches, but if they message me, I'll switch it to the no scratches, or they can buy both. So most people have been buying both, but I'm still ahead, so it's fine.
That's the way to do it, man.
Right?
You get them to fight each other and want all of it, because then they'll buy both of it, because as collectors, we're like, we need the scratches and we need the no scratches.
I've never had, like, I've had a lot where they're split down the middle, but I've never had them more adamant about it. And I had the coins, the gold plated coin one. I do have the other ones. It was enough I was like, fine, I'll buy the other ones and use them for a later tier. And then
the gold one was nice, but I liked the other one because it had such beautiful detail.
Yeah, I have all three, but I have the most of the gold. I have the most of the gold. But then I had with the pins, and I did not expect people to like two of them. I really thought that they'd only like the one. So and I put a kind of a somewhat fake one in there, and that got some love, and I was surprised. But it looked like Anubis was eating an ice cream cone, which kind of made me love it more. But I wound up getting the other two, and so they're the add-ons. For the first time we have pins, so we have actually 4 different pins, 2 metal and 2 acrylic.
I love pins.
Pins are amazing.
So pins did not win the poll originally. Stickers did, which I was really surprised. I mean, not that I mind. Stickers are cheap and they're awesome, but
they're easier to ship.
And they're easy to ship. So I was not expecting that. So stickers won, and then magnets won. But this time people chose the pins. So now we have pins. That's the scratches one. Okay. And now this is the no scratches one. So that's the
scratches. That's the scratches.
It looks like a classic movie type of thing here with all the scratches. Classic.
Yeah, it looks like a grainy horror movie kind of look.
Yeah, which is what one of the people were added about. Now look how bright and clear and pretty it looks with.
It looks so beautiful, yeah.
I'm
All right,
telling you.
time to write a dissertation about which one I like better.
Yeah, awesome.
Pretty much. And
All right,
Honestly,
so
both
guys,
of them are
we
great
are
in their own
here.
way.
We are discussing this. What do you think, Sorcier? What's the better one, the scratches or the no scratches?
All right, you're gonna have to scroll up to the scratches again.
I can do that.
And then-
I can show
yes.
it off for you people again because you guys know you guys want to pick this stuff up. Come on. Here we go. Here's the scratches.
scratches.
It has,
All right,
it has
scratches.
a look to it, folks. It does have a look to it.
It does.
Yeah.
It has a look. All right.
That's
And-
the artist's signature look too. So I was actually surprised to get the no scratches. But when I saw this is no scratches, and I was like, oh, it's so clear.
It is beautiful. with
All
the
right.
gold
Yeah.
and-
So get ready for my entire essay about
Uh-oh, here we
which
go.
one. No, it's not an entire essay. So from like a quote unquote like marketing point of view, right? Like the no scratches version does read a lot easier, like what it is from across a room or even on like a small thumbnail. It's just easier to make stuff out.
John.
As opposed like the scratches is such a cool thing, but it's like one of those things that you can only really like appreciate up close.
yeah.
Right.
Yeah, I kind of agree with the no scratches.
No scratches. So yeah, we are going with no scratches.
I
And
just had to
some
run it away.
Charlie said 7 issues is a lot of story. It is, but it's actually 50 issues already written. So
Oh, no, from my own home. I also have like 50 issues planned. So like
yeah,
yes,
well, they're
super
not
long run.
planned, they're actually written. So
Oh my goodness. Yeah, I didn't get that far, but
yeah, there are 100 issues written for the story. There's 50
Oh.
for series 1 of this redemption, and then there's 45 written for the spin-off with the same characters but 10 years earlier as teenagers. And it's a totally different story, but it's the same, characters. And then we have the prequel and then 2 series 2 that are started. So we've got a lot.
How long did you write
And
this?
so each issue has an Easter egg, and that one has the Easter egg for issue 7. And whoever finds all the Easter eggs for 1 through 7 and posts it when we get the hardcover, then they get a 3D printed Anubis, whoever prints it first. So whoever
Nice.
posts it first. So yeah. And that's our Angels and Demons fighting, which is one of my favorite pages. Yeah, and this is all the past art. You could see the different pages because on my second campaign, I didn't have any previous art. And I was like, oh, a lot of people bought the ketchup tier, but now I feel guilty that no one knows. It was a leap of faith for them, which I appreciated.
Oh man, you guys really worked this.
Yeah.
that is
There's
some good presentation there.
Oh,
There's,
definitely.
a lot of pages. We're already on issue 9. I got 20 issues, 20 pages script from my artist already, layouts. So,
Wow.
How
so
long ago did you start publishing? Sorry to cut you off. I'm so curious about this.
my 1 year is Halloween. So
Yep.
Halloween of last year.
You've done 7 issues since Halloween of last year.
Amazing, right?
Jesus.
Yeah. Well, actually, let me clarify because technically there's been 9. So I had a previous artist that did the first issue last Halloween, and I did not like it. And it they kind of screwed me over and all this stuff. They stole like $3,000, and I fixed I used
Oof.
$2,000 to fix it, and it didn't work out. So I redid it. So technically I had that one. And then I actually have the spin-off, the prequel issue 1 done. But I couldn't afford to get it lettered right away. So I lettered it later on, like 3 months later. And then we found out that since he didn't speak English or read English really well, they aren't following the script that well. So I have it, but it kind of, so I pretty
Wow.
much lost like $9,000 before I even started the series.
Ugh.
Wow.
Oh my god, I feel physical pain just hearing that. Like,
Yeah.
my
So then
goodness.
the $9,000 was kind of a hit. But now we are on a good streak, and my artist is really amazing and fast, and 8 is pretty much done. We hired a colorist for 8 for the book 2. So 1 through 7 is book 1, and it pretty much takes place in Silent Hill kind of area. The town is merging with hell, and there's zombies, zombie mermen, Anubis, ghosts, hellhounds, skeleton birds, and anything you can pretty much think of in there. Our version of vampires, which are called clotters, they're all there. So it takes place so they're all connected. There's 5 books. They're all connected. But this one, when it goes into book 2, it's in a different environment. They're going to get trapped into a haunted asylum in the next one. And then they're trapped there with ghosts and zombies and giant salamanders and all this stuff. So each book they're all contained. They're all in a row, but they're all different environments. So.
Hey, Patrick.
Hey, what's up? Hello.
Yeah.
The party's joining very slowly. It's like a quest. You got to pick each one up as we go.
Yeah. And for anyone that doesn't know, it's pretty much Buffy the Vampire Slayer meets Supernatural in Silent Hill and the Resident Evil world with Good Omens and Evil Dead thrown in. So it's
I love how you explained that.
Amazing.
It's a lot.
Those are all amazing things to throw together in a blender.
Yeah. So it's got a lot of all that, and it's never boring. So I can guarantee you that no one's ever bored. And they said, I had a lot of people say this is like most action that they've seen in a comic book, but a book 2 is actually more action. So I was like, just wait till book 2. So it keeps getting better as it goes, and I'm super excited that book 2 has already been started. Chapter 1's done, and chapter 2 is 20 pages in, way out. So they're getting there. There's a lot of tears.
Well, that's good though. That means you got a lot of choices.
Yeah, you cover all bases.
Yeah, 2 tiers are sold out. So our Hellhound plushie is sold out. And there'll be another one next book. The other ones we pretty much bring back are Anubis and the Hellhound. And then each book will have 2 new monster plushies. So this book was our Merman, which sold out, and our Skeleton Bird, which we have 2 left. And then book 2 is going to have giant salamander monsters and zombies and straitjackets because they're in the asylum and they have straitjackets on. So hopefully working straitjackets. That's what we're going for. I'm waiting to hear back because my artist is like, you want working buckles? And I was like, yeah, I do. So yeah.
That coin looks even more beautiful again. Just looking at it here.
Yeah, isn't it pretty? It's so shiny. It's just really nice. And that's our Lego, which they're very hard to find. And we had the little staff 3D printed, and I could not believe that it fit. So I just told someone, I was like, I need 3D printed staff for a mini Lego. And like, okay. And here's the three covers that you can get for $45. And everything is so you can actually get issue 1 if you want, either a PDF or printed, and then you can get whatever you want as add-ons because all the variants there, all the back issues are there, or you can get one of the catch-up tiers. You could just get whatever you want. Also, we passed already the first stretch goal, so you also get 20 PDFs of issue 1s, 4 new ones for returning people, and for new people there's 20 of them. So
dude, you really stocked this thing up with a lot of beautiful stuff.
It's about 40% of what I actually have. I have so much merch, but I have to spread it out. Otherwise, no one would actually pledge. They'd just be reading tears for about days. So there's three 3D. Anubis is there. The first one is only one left and won't be made again. The middle ones are Chibi, Angry, Anubis. And then the third one you see there popping up is the new one that we have this time.
Whoa. Oh, that's really cool.
Yeah, they're all 6 inches. They're really nice.
That's
a lot of detail. Yeah.
It's funny, Saucier, you were thinking about doing coins, and here they are.
Yeah, right?
I think I have 4 or 5 coins, but this is the first one we're offering. So we also have our own song, which is in the video. So if you listen to the video, the background music is from the song that you can get as an add-on. It was written and performed just for our story. The lyrics are based on our characters. Our second book is going to have a new song, hopefully in January. So we're hoping to do a new song per book.
Wow, impressive. Dude, I like this little guy here.
Oh, you know what? He's actually a fan favorite. He sold out last one, so I had to bring him back. But they're actually pretty big. They're all handmade, and they're awesome. And I actually really love the Skeleton Bird. Nothing against my zombie merman. Is my always there. But the Skeleton Birds are just, I love those. There's actually a Skeleton Bird statue, which I've yet to put up for sale because I don't want to get rid of it. So I don't have that yet. But the plushie sold out. I might bring it back for book 2 because he sold out super fast.
So cute.
Yeah, he's adorable. And then we have 2 Anubises left. And it has a 3D printed staff. And
Nice.
yeah, which is really cool because he holds it. That's really nice. Then we have the metal tier, which is the clear cover because that would fit the best with the metal. It's all shiny.
Yeah, you don't want a scratchy cover on a
Right?
metal.
You can
You're gonna
scratch
be
it on
like,
your own if you
why
want.
is my metal cover scratched?
Yeah. Yeah. And the next one is sold out. The Zombie Merman is sold out. And there was only one made. And the next one is the bust. There's one left of that. And that won't be made ever again because my artist who I've used for 5 years hates sculpting people, and I had to talk him into it and convince him. So that's it. But yeah. And
One
then
and done.
the last Anubis handmade statue of it's like 12 inches, and that's the last one
Wow.
that's going to be made of that one because they're just really hard to ship. So there's one left.
I was gonna say, this is like more work shipping this stuff.
Yeah, that was gonna be my question. Like, how the hell do you ship all of this stuff?
Yeah, it's kind of funny. They are annoying to ship, but I am so obsessed with them that someone asked me in the beginning, why I buy so much, and I buy so much because I want it, and then offering it to you makes it tax deductible. So that's probably ever. But
I understand. It's like
yeah.
totally self-indulgent,
That
and if
is totally
anybody
a
else happens to want it, then
yeah, if you happen to want it, the sooner or later I might put the skeleton bird up, but it's so cool and he's kind of like hanging on a little stand, so we'll see. My hellhounds are being handmade now, the statues. I have 2 versions. I have the chibi version, which I showed one of my biggest fans, and they already bought it, so it isn't even listed yet, and that one's sold. But I had to make an extra one, and then there's a regular hellhound being made, so we'll see how that one's gonna work out.
So this is your tier for everything. That's pretty
This
good
is
price.
this is the metal everything.
The metal everything. Woo.
Yeah, the ketchup tier for everything regular covers is actually only $59, and it comes with
Wow.
keychain, trading card, stickers, and 2 sets of buttons for the Angel and Demon campaign. And then all tiers come with the PDFs. So any tier you get has a PDF of that issue.
Nice.
So if you were to get the ketchup tier for $59, you would get 7 PDFs in color and 7 black and white because we offer the black and white and the color for free. And then you get the other 20 PDFs that are available. And we also have a PDF ketchup tier, which is 20, and you get all 14 PDFs too.
That's pretty good. Metal trading cards.
Yep. They look so nice in metal.
They do look beautiful.
I want everything in metal. I love shiny things.
This is the last one, and look how shiny it is. It's so pretty. Yes,
Ooh.
shiny. It's one of my favorite. I have the original
Shiny.
copy of this.
Hold on,
And,
I'll put you up.
I get
Yeah,
to
full screen that. Yeah, there we go.
So I
Oh
get-
my
I get-
god, look at it. Oh,
Black
It's so glossy.
Yeah, so this is actually the comic book. But yeah, so this is
Wow.
issue 5. It's one of my favorite covers. But I have that one you can get in this one. It's actually being made now, and I think it's going to ship in like a day or 2. I order everything, so everything is made already. I already have 7 here. What I order at the end is variant covers because I never know how many I need. So, and then I do 2 to 6 day printing. I pay more, and then it usually ships within. Well, last time it shipped in 2 hours after I ended. But generally it's about 5 to 10 days because it depends on the printer. And those are the 4 pins, 2 metal and 2 acrylic. Yeah.
Yeah, I like the fact that we were able to vote on this too.
Yeah. I actually was surprised that the cute one won, the dog one, because
Right.
I had someone else say, "Oh, it's too cute for yours," but it
People love cute stuff.
yeah, it was so close to second that I got it. I didn't get the other one of Anubis. He had a dagger, I think, but it looked like an ice cream cone. I thought it was
I'm here for that.
Yeah.
That makes him relatable.
This is our coloring book for $5. It's printed
Nice.
and you get the PDFs and the PNGs, whatever. Somebody had asked for it once, and I didn't know anyone would digitally color them, but I actually had a few buy it. So yeah, there it is.
Cool.
Yeah. And then of course stickers galore.
Gotta love stickers.
Yeah, stickers everywhere. And then we have buttons, which the black one is the demon campaign and the white one is the angel campaign.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, and then this is another 3D printed, but it's 1 inch.
Wow.
It's a RPG miniature, so it's meant to be. But really,
Oh,
yeah, you
you're
can
talking
paint
my
it or you
language.
can do
It looks so detailed for something that's like 1 inch tall.
it. Yeah,
Yeah.
I was gonna say, for a mini, that's beautifully detailed.
yeah.
Oh my God.
That's unbelievable.
Yeah. So there's that.
The D&D player in me is going, come on, get it now.
The D&D player in me is telling the D&D player in you to get it now.
Yeah, I just looked up because I am eventually going to have a tabletop RPG for this
Cool.
story. So I was looking up and I found a place that makes the little metal miniatures for the actual RPG. So hopefully eventually we'll have those. And then we have a hat. I don't wear hats, but my husband wears them all the time. So
I love hats. Could you
Yeah.
tell?
yeah, I could tell. It's an awesome hat. And then
I
think
gotta admit, this hat looks good.
yeah, well, the embroider came out much better than I thought. I mean, it looked gorgeous.
Oh, it looks
And these
gorgeous.
are
Yeah.
the metal covers available in the add-ons. Then we have all the back issues, all the variant issues. And this is this was a spin-off. I am eventually having an artist do the spin-off. I actually have one working on it right now to see if they are worthy of doing the characters, because we're very picky, and so far he did amazing. But this is just a sneak peek of it. It's issue 1, a sneak peek as in 32 pages, but it's a sneak peek of it, and it's not colored, it's black and white, but it gets to show you how the spin-off starts. So
I love that for you, a sneak peek is 32 pages. I'm like 10 pages tops. That's it.
Yeah,
That's all you guys get.
our story is I tried to do 28 pages each, but it barely ever does that. So this actually one for issue 7 is 38 pages, and the last one was 36 pages.
Woo!
So
That's a comic.
Yeah. So none of them are. I think only issue 5 is 24 pages. The rest are 28 to 38. So
There goes
it's
the
all
song.
the same price, so no one can yell at me. And this is the song. It's by Permissible Indulgence. They wrote the lyrics. They did all the music and everything. And for $3, you get the instrumental and the lyric version, vocal version.
That's pretty good.
And then so sold a bunch of those, and that's the lyrics.
Ooh,
Yeah, it's quite
bring
good.
on the passion, bring down the light. Woo!
The next one's a zombie song, so I haven't heard it yet, but I'm excited about it.
You have
like-
to do a music video.
Right?
Exactly.
I was thinking about that.
Yes, do it. I mean, you've got everything else. You've got like the statues,
might as
you've got the
well.
plushies, you've got coins. Like the next step is music video.
Music
Yeah,
video.
I'm sure I'll find more merch to get. Somebody else mentioned something. I can't remember what it was, but I have it written down somewhere. But yeah, I didn't even have the 2 plushies for the new book until I was sitting with my co-writer, and we were celebrating our 3 years of writing, which was 2 weeks ago.
Oh,
And-
congrats.
Thank you. My co-writer's like, wouldn't a plushy salamander be great? I was like, damn it. So I grabbed my phone and like contacted my retainer I have on file for all my plushies. And now she's on it. So she's doing those. And then of course I needed a zombie with a straitjacket. So there's that. But and for anyone that doesn't know, so my co-writer and I, how it works is we are role players. That's why we have so many issues ahead of time, because we kind of just wrote. This wasn't planned. We didn't mean to do it. We didn't plan on a comic book at all. And I said the infamous words, how hard can it be? It's incredibly hard. But it's like the hardest thing I've ever done, and I've started 2 businesses. So the way it works is I write the initial chapter, and I write everything Serafina, all her thoughts and actions and everything. And then I send it to my co-writer, and then my co-writer writes Draven's point of view. So Serafina, who's the angel descendant, and Draven, who's the demon descendant, they're written by 2 different people. And as for the stretch goals, one was a trading card magnet, and then we have little army men, that Anubis army men. So
I gotta admit, those are cute. I think
they're not 3D printed, they're literally plastic army men that are
There you go.
Anubis.
I feel like you could make
Amazing.
a test set out of like the 3D printed stuff.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
it's cooler in plastic because they'll you could be a little rougher with them, play with them. Little army men. But yeah, and that's it. There's a lot of stuff.
There you go.
Yeah.
Dude, that was Awesome.
That was intense.
Thanks. Yeah, book 2 will start January 8th. It's chapter 1 is pretty much done. I think there's 7 more pages to color, and then it's done. And then it's pretty much every other month. It's January 8th and February 27th, which are the next 2. How is John?
Rocking out here.
John's in the out there and in here.
John is everywhere.
That's true.
That's insanely fast.
Yeah. My artist is fast and they're already written, so it's just, you don't care about being in debt, you can be fast too.
Wow.
Words to live by.
Right?
That's the key, right?
Yeah.
Well, that's the whole thing. So you got to pay for your dream sometime.
If you're
Yeah.
willing,
That's comics in a nutshell.
if you're willing to have your spouse kick you out, anything can happen.
If you don't mind losing your house, you're good to go. I always joke about if you ever see the background look like a library, I probably lost my house making these. But for now, I'm still in this room, so we're good to go. But yeah, it's an obsession, and I was told by a couple of my friends to slow down, and that'll probably never happen. So here we are.
I mean, it's working for you. Like,
Yeah.
you're getting it done. So
I love it, and we have book 2 is 6 issues, and it was supposed to be 7. I merged the last 2 so it could be done by Halloween again, and so the last issue 6 is like 58 pages. So someone said to me, you should get an editor so you could shorten that down. I was like, that is shortened.
No.
Yeah, that's what I said.
no.
That was my exact words. I said no, and then I was like, I should probably say something more than just no. But I was like, listen, I know my story, and the reason why there's so many pages is because we like the big panels. We like to show the details, and my artist is so amazing with doing these action-packed panels that it's just sometimes you just have to get more. I mean, issue 8 started as 28 pages, and I was like, yeah, but they're fighting zombies in this page, and I kind of need it, so it wound up being 32 pages. But I think that I got issue 10 to be 28 pages, so we'll see.
For now.
So until I think of something else to add. So
Carissa, your passion is always amazing to me because like you're saying, I have been working on my books for like a couple of years now, and just getting the money together is I'll just say it's a bitch. And so I am completely impressed. I'm amazed that you're able to actually do it, and at this pace. You've only been at this, well, besides the little mess up in the beginning with the startup, for a year, and you've done 7 issues.
Yes. So we don't take a break. I always tell my artist if he needs to take a break so he doesn't burn out, and he's like, nope. So we'll literally end the last page of 1, and the next day he does the cover for the next, and on we go. I don't know if that's the best, but
It most certainly is advice.
yeah,
It is an advice.
yeah. So take that what you will.
Like, hawk your house, do your book now.
Live in a dumpster. Live your
Yeah.
dreams.
I'm lucky that 2 things. My husband is very supportive, and he does not handle any of the bills, so we're good. So he even said yesterday, because I have no idea how much you make or how much you're spending. I was like, yep. Anyway, so
Change
so far, so
subject
good.
conveniently.
Yeah. I just bought him a lawnmower, so we'll shut up. So now we're good. So
Well, there you go. You get him a nice little man toy.
yeah, and it was really expensive, and I paid it in cash. And I went there in like Donald Duck pajamas, and I hand him like this tin can. And my husband made fun of me because they're gonna think you do meth or something, that you handed all these bills over and like you said, here you go. And
That's even funnier.
Yeah, I thought it was great. But he says they'll be talking about you for a while, and I was like, oh, everyone talks about me. It's okay. I've been on 134
You're trying to give everybody a
podcasts,
good
so-
story, whether it's on page or in person.
right? So he got his toy that he talked about nonstop, and now he always wants something. He bought the drum set, and now he bought that, and I'm sure the next thing is going to be like a truck. So there's always something. So time to save the pennies again for the next one. Just when he starts asking how much things cost, like, here, go buy a truck. So
Just throw the can of like pennies and just be like, go get it, boy, go get it.
go count them. There you go. So yeah, there you go. That's great advice for you. Pay off your husband so they don't question anything.
Yeah, you
I'll write
heard
a book of things to live by, horribly live by. But yeah, so obviously I love my story, in case anyone couldn't tell. So
Dude, like I said, you can feel the passion through the whole thing, through every project, through every tear.
yes, John has to listen to me constantly, so he knows all about it. And I'm a horrible influence on many, many people. A lot of people are doing plushies now, and I don't know. All I hear about is I'm doing it because of you, and I feel like that drug commercial where I learned it by watching you, so now I'm stuck with that. But yeah, so I'm an influence apparently. I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing.
That is amazing. That's what it is.
Yeah. So, but yeah. So anyway, someone else can talk. I talked a lot.
I'm inspired to do those figures of the 3D figures. So
Exactly.
I love them. I actually have 4 other small ones that are saved for future ones, but I'm having the Hellhound now 3D printed, and I just got the file back for it. It looks so awesome. It has the fur and everything. And
Nice.
my artist like, does it look too furry? And I was like, no. It looks
It's never enough fur.
Yeah, it looks
Does
great.
it look like a good boy?
He does. He has a little stick in his mouth and everything. So, yeah, I don't know if you know, in issue 4, Anubis plays fetch with the Hellhound. Unintentionally, the Hellhound brought him a stick. He threw it, and the Hellhound brought it back. So he just kept throwing it. So now, for the rest of the issues, the Hellhound follows him around with the stick in the mouth. So
I love it.
That is so cute.
I love those little like moments where there's attention to detail and there's like these weird little character quirks that like continue on throughout the story.
Oh, you know,
It's so
and
good. It's so
it's one of
delicious.
my favorite things because he actually wasn't even in the novels. I added him because we had talked about him in the spinoff. So I was like, oh, now the worlds are mirrored, so I can add him in the other one. So I actually added the Croc. His name's Croc, and the reason why his name is Croc, because no one knows it because it's not mentioned in the book. But his name is Croc because he is the color of red, and there's this really rare gemstone that looks like a ruby, really bright red, really beautiful. But if you handle it too much, it's poisonous. And Hellhound's bite to an angel is poisonous. So in the spinoff, she named him Croc. So to us, he's Croc. To everyone else, he's just the Hellhound with one horn missing. So there's that.
Love the detail.
Yeah. So but yeah, so from now on he's gonna carry a stick around and hopefully get to play fetch again, but probably not, but we'll see. I'll try. But he's very emotional. I like when his ears go back, he gets all upset or something. Yeah, they're adorable together. It was not planned, but they are adorable together. So I thought everyone was gonna kill me that Anubis is playing fetch with the Hellhound. But after I wrote it, everyone's like, I love the Hellhound.
Yeah, those little touches are what makes stuff like this. Sometimes what we remember isn't what everybody thinks we're going to remember. It's these little things.
Yeah.
Or like in something super serious, when you do have that like little silly moment, it just gives everybody like a moment to breathe and to laugh and then like get back into all of the serious action stuff. Especially
this story, because it's very, I mean, they can be sarcastic back and forth, and they have some banter, especially in 1 when they first meet up again. But there's so much seriousness that they're, especially Draven is like super sarcastic, and he's very, 2-word answers like most of the time. But our characters are very much like the writers. My character talks all the time and barely thinks, and then the other character thinks all the time and barely talks. So they fit us very well. So now you know who writes who. So yeah.
That's pretty good. That's the whole thing. I tell people all the time, these ideas come from real life. These ideas come from our lives. These ideas come from the people we know. We just as writers take all this stuff and start processing it and make it into the stories that we're making it into.
Yeah.
And if you pay attention, you'll learn a lot about the writer's life by what they're writing.
There's a lot of details in the background that I might make as a bonus if people find them, but people won't even notice them, and I put them in anyway. Like, for example, in issue 1, the trope that when you're in a horror movie or any movie and they're trying to find something and they turn on the TV and the news instantaneously tells you what they need to know. Mm-hmm. So it was partly a joke where she wakes up in issue 1 and she turns on the news and it tells her exactly what she needs to know. However, if you look at the back of the TV, it's actually unplugged. And the angel staring in from the window is the one controlling the TV.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah. So in the next scene, he hints at it where he's like, you're going there anyway. And she's like, how did you know where I was going? So there's little things like that. When she's walking into town, if you notice, and a lot of people won't, there's a crack forming behind her as she walks. She's the reason why the town is separated. So there's a lot of things. And like I said, all of them have Easter eggs, from Resident Evil or, a horror movie or anything like horror game, anything like that. So there are a lot of little details hidden in there. So it's kind of fun to go through and find them all. So
I love those things. I love the little details. Lee, you're a writer, right?
I claim to be, yes.
I always said, I'm not a writer, I'm a storyteller. So.
I'm a storyteller. I do tell a lot of stories, that's for sure.
Yeah.
So Lee, let me ask you this, because I know it's happened to me, and any of the other writers can answer this. I know there's times where we have this side characters, and I'll quotation mark that, and all of a sudden, after a while, this character just takes on a life of their own and become a main character. Sometimes they'll take over the story, or sometimes we have to throw them out of that story because they've taken over too much, and they become their own main character in their own story.
Spin-off.
Exactly. So Lee, have you had that happen?
Yeah, I mean, like for me, it's more like I do, I find that this side character, and I start to really like that person, and I'm like, oh, what if they do this, and what if they do that, and let's keep that, expanding. But there comes to a point where, you have to kind of control yourself a little bit and be like, you know what, maybe this would be better as a spin-off or a sequel and bring them out, but I try to stick with the main characters, the A and B characters, I guess. And then as you go along, you start to realize like some of those new characters or minor characters might actually be somebody who really could do something better, but for the purpose of this, you want to keep them within at least the confines of the story for the most part, the way I look at it. And then, if you feel like you could kind of expand, you just have to control yourself. That's kind of how I feel, because you really do fall in love with some of the characters.
Oh, definitely.
Yeah, and it's easier said than done. I mean, that happens to me all the time. An artist will turn in a page or two, and you just see the character, and you're like, they just start to grow in your mind, and you want to give them a bigger role. I try to roll with that because I think that's the fun part of doing comics is that, you don't have to have everything locked in. But you're right, it does sometimes get away from you, and I've definitely had that happen too, where, you thought a series was going to be so many pages, and then all of a sudden you're off the rails. So I do have to do a good amount of kind of self-editing on that stuff too.
Right. And sometimes like, you're flowing, you really like this minor character or whatever. And then you're like thinking like, maybe less is more in a way, so it's kind of like,
I wouldn't know anything about that.
But it does. It kind of like, if you're liking it, hopefully other people like that character and be like, okay, I want more of that one. Let me go to the next, next issue, That's how I feel about it.
Oh, definitely. I've had it happen to me many a times.
Yeah, I mean, it is editing, right? It's just a lot of editing,
But see, you actually say something that makes a lot of sense. It's that sometimes as writers, we don't want to control ourselves. We just want to like have fun. We want to throw things all over the place. We want to tell this story that's in our head, but sometimes you can't tell that story.
Follow the dopamine.
Yeah.
Right. Right, it's like that stream of consciousness throughout, right? So you're just kind of like, oh, this is going in a great place. And then, after you're done with it and look at it again, you're like, oh, maybe that's not really the way it should go. Or,
right. And we, unless you're Carissa with 5 mortgages or whatever, max credit card. I mean, so for me,
I was thinking like, I if you guys knew what I did to the characters and when I liked a character and yeah, I don't have any issues with it. I don't have anything less or more.
part of it's budget, you it's just
I wouldn't know anything about that either.
You're right. Yours is 58 pages, whatever. I mean, I was like that at first too. All my issues were 38 pages, stuff like that. But then what I actually realized was part of the resource of the comic is the creation too. And if you do have an artist that's just, they're willing, they're able. But I ended up working with a lot of artists who were doing it, part-time. That's the name of my company, Part-Time Comics. A lot of us are doing this on the side. So it was detrimental to them. I was giving them a 40-page script when they could only do a page a week. So it was taking them a year and a half to finish, so that wasn't economical for their time either. So I had to look at who I'm working with and say, okay, is it feasible to lengthen this another 10 pages, or should we bring in a second artist, or how could we make it happen? And then start to think of it, and then say, okay, if I can't make it happen, rein myself in, and we'll get to that joke or that side story or whatever another time. But yeah, some of it's about the resources that you're using, and that's your team. If my team doesn't have unlimited time, I've got to be respectful of their time and not. And that happened to me a lot early on. The stories would kind of meander and go on and never finish because, we didn't really get where we needed to be in the story. And I had to really go through that a few times before I said, okay, you got to have more of a solid idea going into the story and then kind of leave some space to move around. Because I do think that is the fun of comics, is having that air to breathe. But I try to, keep it to a page or two here and there,
But that's the whole thing, people think it's a solid thing, but it's this anamorphic type of thing. It can be whatever it wants until you put it down on that paper and you print it. It can be whatever you want, and sometimes even then, because you'll go back and change things.
Right.
Reboot.
Got Snyder and change dialogue, and who knows.
I'm always changing dialogue. I'm sure Patrick is too.
And again, I think that's unique to comics. You're not going to see that as much unless you're George Lucas, in TV and film. In comics, we can do that. If we get to the trade and we're like, I really just needed a 4-page scene right here, you could add it in. Like you said, you can do whatever you want, especially when you're putting out your own stuff.
True.
I got very lucky with my artist being fast. He actually quit his job to do my comic, so
Well,
I got lucky. So.
You gonna say, Patrick?
Yeah, saying you'd be surprised. You're doing films, and the day before, it can be like, well, you know what? We're not going to really do it this way. Let's try it this way. So it does even come up in that too. And there's always, doing TV shows, there's always rewrites. The poor actors that especially like soap opera. Oh, by the way, you didn't kill your husband. You killed the maid, and you killed, So now we got you a gun too. So it's okay, that's great. And 45 minutes to learn this. We shoot live, and all right.
I know that's what they did with Star Wars, because they were trying to hide that big scene where Darth Vader reveals that he's the father, and they had all this whole other script for them, and then at the last minute they go, need to learn this, you need to learn this now. And even Mark Hamill was like, wait, he's my father?
Yeah, that's a good story.
could you imagine if they didn't even tell him what's going on, and then they had Darth Vader just say, "I'm your father," and Mark Hamill didn't know, and they just film his reaction in real time?
That would have been good.
That would have been fantastic. Some people actually do that on their sets. They'll throw some kind of
Alien
like that.
Alien, they didn't know that the thing that the alien was going to pop out of his stomach while they were eating. So their reaction is real.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, so that's their real
That's
reaction. They knew something was going to happen, but they had no idea that thing was going to pop out of his stomach. So.
Also in Poltergeist, they used actual human skeletons instead of prop skeletons.
Not because it was cheaper.
Which ridiculous, but
yeah, it's a little sad.
Carolina Biological Supply Company. Buy pretty much anything.
Damn, yeah. I guess it is a little cheaper if you just borrow from the cemetery down the road, but
exactly.
Probably
Well,
not
you
recommended.
locally sourced
Anyway.
skeletons.
Locally sourced.
Fully sourced.
You should definitely be PR. Locally sourced. Yeah.
That's what the movie's about anyway. Come on.
Perfect. Yeah, it's awesome. But
So John,
love
I
those
put this
little
link up here. What do you got here?
Oh yeah, we just had a campaign end. We joke with Carissa and her 7 books a year or whatever it ends up being. I prefer to do a whole bunch of books at once and just kind of throw them in the pot. And we recently did that. We have 3 ongoing series, but fret not. We do have a pre-order site still up. So if you did miss the wonderful Kickstarter, because we did do a bit of a shorter one this time. We've got 3 books up, 3 continuing series. 2 of our long-running series have come to an end, and one will be continuing on in the future. But yeah, we did 3 books recently, which is
awesome.
I joke with Chris
At the
about
same
ill-advised things she's doing,
Woo!
but we all do things our own way,
Yeah.
Dude,
yeah.
3 books at the same time sounds like a like a heart attack.
Yeah. And they're all
Yeah.
good too. They're all
Well,
awesome.
thank you. It was a heart attack. It was a sweat, but I've been doing this for about 15 years. I've been publishing since about 2009. So this is my second business
Nice.
venture into this. So, it just happened that way. They all came together. They have a common theme. They were all co-created by my longtime co-creator, Bob Garner-Arnellis. So I figured he and I have been working together a long time. This might be the last time we work together, as he's kind of stepping aside to do some different things. So as a fitting tribute to him, I was like, you know what? If they're all ready at the same time, let's offer them all up together. All these books were created by Bob Gar and I. And, again, I just thought it was kind of serendipitous that they all came together at the same time. I've done multi-book campaigns before to mixed success, so it's definitely not something I recommend, but the budget was right, the time was right, and I feel like it's easier to go through one campaign than 3 separate ones, and our loyal backers can get one
I
ship.
think that's one of your pluses there, though, because instead of 3 different campaigns, you got this one campaign going on, and it sounds almost like it's easier to get the book done.
It is because if you haven't run one, it's hard to explain, but the Kickstarter just takes up a lot of your mental energy and your physical time. I mean, just to set it up is a nightmare. So the
And
less
your
I
soul.
can do that, and your soul.
Takes a
And it
lot of
just-
your soul.
It does, and it's not even like I've had a ton of failures in the past, but it's just that anxiety, that stress, that not focusing on the creation part because you're always checking the Kickstarter or answering a question. Again, it's hard to explain to somebody who hasn't gone through one. It just takes all your mental energy that month or so that it's up. So the less I can do that, the better. And we're fortunate after years of publishing. We really do kind of have a core, 50, 75 readers that really just back everything we put out. So why not make it easier for them? Just get it all. If you're going to get it, here's your subscription plan. And then, the budget again gets a little hairy. I'm not quite as in debt as Carissa probably is, but we'll figure that out.
So I don't know what you're talking about.
Oh,
Yeah, they make fun of me about that too. They're like, I do one every other month. So my Kickstarter ended 3 weeks ago, and then I just started one, and so I don't know. I thrive on the stress, I guess. Apparently, I'm a sadist or something, but I love it. So
How much sleep do you get?
4 hours. You're like the 4th person to ask me that today. Like my artist says the same thing. He'll send me something at like 2 a.m. because he's in the UK. And I'll be like, oh, that looks awesome. And then he'll be like, don't you sleep? And I was like, no, what else you got?
Don't you sleep?
4 hours. That's it.
4 hours.
There's not enough time for other stuff, man.
4 hours sounds like a lot of sleep for me.
I mean, my husband gets like 12 and he's tired. I get 4 and I'm fine. So I guess it really depends on the person.
Yeah, I can't do that anymore. In my 20s, sure, but now I'd be like dead after 4 hours of sleep. Like I might as well just not sleep.
No.
Yeah, my artist says that too. But I mean, I'm 45. I've been doing it for a long time. So I guess I'll just break down and wind up in a rubber room someday and we'll
Maybe.
read comics in there.
How do we know that you're not already in a rubber room and that's just like a Zoom background?
You know what? Don't ruin it. It's working. It's okay if I'm in a rubber room. Someone asked me today, like the whole simulation thing. Are we in a I was like, I don't care if we're in a simulation. It's working for me. So as long as no one pulls the plug, I'm going good. So yeah.
That's a good outlook.
Yeah. I mean, why ruin it? So
I always tell people all the time, how do you guys not know that you're people in my story?
Well, then you should erase my debt so that I can just keep going.
Yeah, seriously, dude.
You gotta have drama. You gotta have conflict.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Well,
The Matrix wasn't.
your story.
The Matrix wasn't utopia. They had to have some realistic drama in there.
I made my husband paranoid because we watched this thing where they said if the ones that created the simulation finds out that we're self-aware, will they pull the plug or not? So now they're totally
Exactly.
I was like, whoops, sorry. It'll be like Wreck-It Ralph
Who's
when they pull the
self-aware?
plug.
Nobody's self-aware.
What?
Like, who's self-aware? Nobody's self-aware.
Yeah, I don't know anything ever. All delusional.
So, Lee, I put
Yes.
this up here. We are heading to New York Comic Con, which is this weekend.
Woo.
Saturday, we're going to be on a panel doing this radio play for Designated, the comic that Mark Torres wrote. Go ahead, tell us all about this.
I'll tell you all about it. Yeah, it's Mark Torres wrote this and created it. It's called Designated, and it really tells a story of two battling alien races, and they discover a power source. That's what they're fighting over, and then their war kind of just makes its way to Earth, and some people, some humans, I guess, get special abilities. That's kind of the idea about the story, and we were able to turn it into sort of a live play, which is kind of a radio play, kind of like the old days, where you're kind of just trying to like do sound effects when somebody's speaking in a live room. So we've been doing that. We've casted, of course, Patrick, who's here, and of course you, Raph.
I don't know what you're talking about.
You're in it, man. Be proud. It's gonna be awesome. You know.
That looks great.
Dude, I am looking forward to this. We're gonna have a lot of fun. I like doing it with you guys at MCon. That was a blast.
Yeah,
cool.
Dude,
and Mark Torres's book is pretty good. You guys can go pick it up right now. It's still up there on what's the name of the site again?
I think it's Crowdfunder.
There
you go, Crowdfunder. Yeah, Mark Torres is on Crowdfunder. And good thing about Crowdfunder is even after it's done, you can keep buying the book.
Cool.
Yeah.
There's a bonus.
Yep. Patrick, I know you've jumped into this. What made you jump in? Was it just Mark going, Patrick, I need a favor?
No, it was actually Lee saying, "Hey, I need a favor."
Oh.
I worked with Lee on a different project a couple of years back, and he said, "Listen, we got this new thing going on, and if you got the time, I'd love for you to be a part of it." And I'm like, "What is it?" He's like, "Well, we're doing a comic book," and I'm like, "Well, I'm not a comic artist." He's like, "Well, yeah, we're doing this comic book, but we're doing it like an old school live radio play."
Right.
And I'm like, "That's kind of cool. Like, how's that going to work?" And then I showed up one time to do it, and they had the soundboard, they had the music, they had everything set up, and I'm like, "Oh, this is like really how it worked." And I remember my mom telling me when she was a kid that she went to see, I think it was the Lone Ranger radio program.
Yeah.
And she went there when she was really young and expected to see horses and barns and cowboys. She's like, it's a bunch of guys standing around microphones and like scraping things on plastic and with, literally coconuts doing this, So she was like, I liked it, but I was so disappointed. And I'm like, no, but I think of that and I think it's cool, But that's how and we did it the first time, and I'm like, yeah, I would definitely love to do this again. So,
yeah, we were totally like, let's try. It's the same thing for me. I didn't know that. I was speaking to Mark about it, and since he had the book, he wanted to promote it, and I was just like, look, man, why don't you, you're always on a Zoom, let's start there. Let's see if we can get a bunch of people together and act it out and see what you think, and then maybe put some music and sound effects to it, and then all of a sudden we got into the East Meadow, the MCon, I think, and did the live version of it, and it was just, to me, that's awesome, because I do film, so it's all contained on the screen. This was in front of an audience, which was so different for me,
which is always fantastic, because it's the old days of TV and radio where you actually had a live audience there while you were doing what you were doing.
Exactly. Yeah. Really cool.
So, Carissa has all this stuff going on already. Do you think she should do a radio play?
Yeah, why not? It's fun. It's a lot of the producing, but it's kind of cool to do, especially to try it with the Zoom and get people involved to try and do some acting for it. I think it's actually a really cool experiment. To me, it was more of a proof of concept. Can we do this?
Mm-hmm.
And I think it's pretty, we've done pretty well and Mark got us into that Comic-Con. So, I think we're in good shape.
Mark got us into that Comic-Con and it's trauma.
Yeah.
Right. And that bugged me out. I was like, whoa. But I kind of remember that Mark is kind of pals with our pal there.
Yeah, no, he was able to get us into with Trauma, and I guess the whole Toxic Avenger cult following, right? So we're gonna be showing a bunch of trailers that day of their new films, I think, that they've done, and a couple of older ones.
Yeah, he's been busy. There's been a lot of new stuff released, and there's a lot of old stuff that has anniversaries coming up.
Yeah, so it's going to be great when we see that. And I think it's we got a good chunk of time too. I think it's 3 or 4 trailers. And then we've got Brian McKenna, who's going to help warm up. He opened for Jim Brewer for a long time, for many years. Nice. So he's going to throw a little comedy into it. And of course, we've got
This
everybody.
opening act. I
Well,
didn't.
it's kind of like like he's just gonna warm us, control the crowd a little bit and warm everyone up. So
The MC.
yeah, he's kind of like our MC of the day, our moderator, and he's got a role which he's taken over the role that I did. So which is good because I'll be like running around trying to figure out how to do sound effects in the first place.
Sound effects are fun though. They can drive you crazy, but they're fun.
Yeah, it's just like the tech setup is like 15 minutes, I think. So I don't know. It's going to be interesting to put it together.
Oh man.
But yeah, no, it's pretty cool. We got Jerry Glennon. She's going to be doing it as well. And then, of course, Jen Feldy, who, definitely partners with Mark on the radio show and everything. Actress in her own right. And then, I threw my kids in there. So
you got to do stuff, man. That's how it works. That's Hollywood.
Yes, the nepotism. So starting early.
Yeah, Jerry's funny because I get to yell at her character a lot. And like the first time we did it, I was kind of like, oh, how do I really, how does this guy act? And when the second time we did it, it was with her. And she's playing Futak. And I'm just like, listen, Futak, we're not having this, So I get to yell at her a lot. And she was, so in between takes, I was like, she was asking me things, and I'm like, quiet, Futak, be quiet, So we were messing with each other a little bit on the set, but it was good. It was really good. You got good people, group of people with this, so fun to play off each other.
Yeah, no, and it's been a while since we even really did rehearsals. When we found out that we got in, it was like, oh wow, I got to get everybody together. Who's available?
Right.
So that was the other part of it. It was like reliable and available.
That's the way it got to be, man. Sometimes you got to roll with the pro. You got to do guerrilla style stuff, man.
Exactly.
Guerrilla comics, guerrilla movies, guerrilla shows. Come on.
Yeah, no, I totally get it. It's cool, but yeah, we're gonna be, it's gonna be Saturday the 14th at 6:30 in room 408. So whoever wants to come by on Saturday.
You are at New York Comic Con. Come check us out and have some fun with us.
Hell yeah!
I am jealous. I haven't been in 12 years. I went to one New York Comic Con. It's definitely an experience.
I'm gonna try to go next year.
Oh, nice,
dude! Everybody has to go at least once.
Oh, for sure.
Well, the sad part is I lived in New York, but I didn't work on comics then. So I was actually born in Long Island, so
that'll throw you off. I gotta admit, when I wasn't doing comics, even though I loved comics, it kind of made things hard.
Well, I read comics in the 90s. I read Ghost Rider and stuff, but I didn't, ever think to work on them. So who knew?
Yeah, I don't think I'll ever do San Diego. That's a little too much, but New York is definitely worth the trek.
I wanted to do San Diego once, just once.
I heard it's not as good anyway anymore, but I don't know. I've never been. It's too far for me.
We'll see what happens sooner or later.
Take me with you.
Exactly.
We're both in the same area, so just take me with you. Just stuff me in your suitcase or something.
I'm like, oh, I got a perfect host for this.
I want to go to Dragon Con because that's near me.
I'm dying to go to Dragon Con. Yeah, that's another one I want to hit.
That's a great convention to go to.
Where's that?
I can't wait.
Dragon Con is in Georgia.
One of the Carolinas? I don't remember.
Atlanta.
Oh, there we go. Yeah,
Atlanta,
I was right the first time.
Yeah.
Yeah, they wouldn't. I wanted a table this year, but they wouldn't let me because I had to ask months ago, and they said that I wasn't allowed. So
with
I wasn't
the
well
bigger
known.
cons, you got to ask a while ago.
Yes, they're watching the bigger ones for their list now. Yeah, because next year they'll start opening up. Like C2E2 is about to open up already.
Yeah, already.
Well, I asked early enough. I wasn't known. They're like, you're not known.
Yeah, and that'll happen too.
You know,
I've been doing it for 15 years, and I still don't get into a lot of the big ones. Not that I could afford the table fee anyway, but
I don't do good at the big ones anyway. I like the small little local cons. Nashville is my favorite. So,
have you hit any of the horror cons?
I was supposed to, and then my room flooded, so I didn't actually get to go. But I am going to visit the Scarefest in like 2 weeks in Kentucky. So.
Yeah, because I think your book will do very well at the horror cons.
Yeah. I'm planning to next year, either Texas or somewhere around here, because I keep getting told I got to go to Texas. I can travel anywhere now. It's tax deductible. It just has to be a con, so it's awesome. Yeah.
So, John, send me the link so I can put it up here, put it in the private chat, and then you're going to be telling us who you are, all the stuff you do, and where they can find you.
All right. Put it in the private chat. This is our most recent pre-order. You can get all of our books at the link. As it says below my name here, I'm John W. I am the publisher, writer, letterer for Part-Time Comics. The best place to find us is on Linktree. You can Google Part-Time Comics with an X and you'll find us everywhere. But the best way is Linktree. It'll have our current crowdfunding, our web store, our YouTube, all that stuff. But yeah, we put out, I started publishing about 15 years ago with a different company. We kind of came to our natural conclusion, took a couple years off, and then kind of got the itch to get back into it. I started my own venture with Part-Time Comics, trying to set some reasonable limits on myself. Didn't necessarily happen that way, but it's comics is one of those part-time, full-time jobs, so it's kind of a little tongue-in-cheek reference there to anybody who tries to do this while they're working full-time. But yeah, we just finished.
That's what we all do. That's how you. The only way to do this is to pay for the dream in another way.
Right. Right. Exactly.
I'm running out of kidneys.
There's only so many body parts I can sell. But we just had multiple miniseries now since we launched Part-Time Comics in 2001. Come to a conclusion. The first arc of Drumsticks of Doom, which you're seeing on the screen now, which is our heavy metal epic, it's reached its 4th issue, which will hopefully be going to trade paperback early next year, which will be a big step for us. We just had our miniseries Depowered come to its conclusion with issue 3. That's also available through this pre-order store. And then our long-running series Bulletproof Chicken came to its conclusion as well.
The best comic. It is the best. I love it so much.
It
And I
always
look
makes
forward
me
to getting my physical copies of Bulletproof Chicken.
Yeah, we got the
Oh my
Bulletproof
God.
Chicken here. Started with, again, my aforementioned wonderful co-creator and artist, Bob Goranellis. These are his amazing covers here. Started as one of our most successful when I was working with him at Kingbone Press, his publishing company. And we wanted to bring it back. It's the 10-year anniversary, so we did do a 3rd issue for that. It's we're not planning any more issues for that. I think it's finally reached its conclusion. But it's over the top, anthropomorphic, crime-killing chicken. Bulletproof Chicken. It's probably exactly what you think it is.
It sounds fantastic.
And then, yeah, and before we run here, the other series that we were able to continue on, we've had a little bit of a delay with doing the art. Bob Gar and I have worked together a long time. He's an amazing artist. I love working with him. But admittedly, he understands that he's a little bit slow, for what our future plans are. So that was the series Child Possession Services, which is about social worker Connie Dar, who is a social worker for recently or currently possessed children. So the tagline for that is, what if possessions were more common around the globe? What would we do? Of course, the government would make a poorly run agency for it to help these children, and they would have social workers armed with certain skills to help these kids. I am a social worker by day, so a lot of it is kind of, inside baseball about being a social worker and working in human services, but I didn't think anybody would read a comic about that. So we added some demons and we added some possession and went from there. But that series, actually, we're very excited because with the recent Kickstarter, we can continue that series on. Bob did 2 awesome issues. We love where the series is at, but we have bigger plans for the series. So actually, part of what, we're here to talk about today is Child Possession Services will be continuing on in the hands of your co-host here, Miss Mata Sorcier.
Ooh, Mata. You
Yeah.
We have recruited her to help with Connie's tale. Again, trying to find an artist, first and foremost, who could draw. But also, I've worked with a lot of people who identify as male in the industry and, wanting to work with somebody outside of that. Mata was just the right person for the job. And my email to her was very pathetic sounding. So she was like, I better just do it.
I was like, oh man, I gotta help this guy. I gotta do
He's
something
like at the
here.
end of his rope here. He's so sad and pathetic. So she agreed. She signed a blood oath contract in the 5-pointed star circle. So she's
Yep.
she's at least
Joke's
in
on
for
you
next
though. I
issue.
don't have a soul to take, so
I was about to tell you. I think you lost the contract there because Mata is Mata.
yeah,
Well,
there's like
sent
I'm dead inside. There's nothing for you here.
I sent Mata the first issues and she's read the script somehow she still agreed to continue on. You know, in our book, we put souls inside other bodies. So sometimes we're looking for people who can be a vessel for, you know, other.
Yeah,
other
also you're stuck
entities.
with me, so I
see how you
feel
brought it
sorry for
around
you.
there.
But yeah, no, I'm very excited, and then actually, yeah, she it just is going to be a great addition to the team, and you know, I'm glad to expand the Part-Time Comics family and invite somebody else in new, because unlike Carissa's, you know, high action comic, we have a lot of you know, talking and yelling at people, and
I'm here for that. I excel at talking and yelling. Like when you read Sacrimony, you will see like this is some top quality talking and yelling.
and I have read some Sacrimony comic, and I'm enjoying it so far. And again, you know, just kind of getting to know you online, seeing your work. You know, I gathered that you would be the kind of person that, you know, wouldn't shy away from that kind of stuff, because I like those kind of comics. Again, I try to add the werewolves and the demons and stuff to draw people in, but really my comics are very much more slice of life.
It's about the drama, and I'm here for the drama.
And we're gonna have plenty of drama. Again, we'll see. We got at least one issue planned, and we'll see where the future goes. So for 2024, of you know, the series that are continuing on for us, it's Drumsticks of Doom and Child Possession Services are the only ones on the slate right now for next year.
Interesting.
But that will be. We just finished our 14th and 15th book since we launched Part-Time Comics 3 years ago, so we've got quite a few under our belt.
Well, there you have it, folks. Go check them out. There's a lot of things happening. Of course, we love Sorcier here, so go even more check it out. So, Carissa,
Also, do
one
it for
last
the
time.
children.
Do it for the children. Do it for
And
the
the chicken.
souls. Woo!
That's funny.
So, Carissa, one last time, let the people know what you got going on.
So I have issue 7 of Worthy Chaos Redemption on Kickstarter, and you can, the easiest way to find us is to search Worthy Chaos on Kickstarter. We pop right up. We're the only things there. Or you can go to theworthychaos.com. That also goes to the Kickstarter. And yeah, if you like any kind of horror, supernatural, or anything like that, or action, or survival horror, it's all there. And you can add me on Twitter or X, whatever the hell it's called, at worthy_chaos. I don't know what it's called anymore. But at worthy_chaos. And also we have a Facebook group on Facebook called Worthy Chaos. We have about 700 and so members on there, and we share a lot on there. So yeah, you can easily and you can add me. I'm one of those people that would have gotten kidnapped as a kid. I talk to anybody, so feel free to add me and help me. So,
And dudes, you guys should talk to her because she can geek out with the best of them. And this stuff is beautiful. It's just a love note to horror, and you guys got to check it out.
Thank you.
And of course, Sorcier. Now we know that you're busy with a bunch of other projects. Well,
Yeah,
go ahead.
3
tell 'em
comics
all your stuff.
and enamel pins. Oh, 60 away from funding. Yeah, so I've got this cool little enamel pin campaign for some original designed enamel pins. They're characters from Sacrimony, but also like you don't have to be familiar with the story to think that these are like some slick designs. But also,
that is a slick design.
thank you.
Wow.
Yeah, so also you can catch up with Sacrimony on this particular Kickstarter if you've never read it yet. I've got like digital and physical catch-ups. Unlike Carissa, I've only got 6 issues so far, and it took me 3 years to do it because I do everything by myself. I do the art, I do the writing, I do the lettering, I do the marketing.
See, I'm jealous of you. I would love to do that.
Don't envy me. I can't afford to pay myself. I joke about it all the time, but
I love when
it's
you
a
say
labor
that.
of
I can't
love.
afford to pay myself.
I can't. No, but yeah, I mean, so yeah, I thought I'd just close out the year with something like a lot less stressful than throwing together another comic. And I was like, you know what? I'll do some enamel pins. And yeah,
And these things are fantastic.
They look awesome.
I'm definitely trying to find them.
I like both, but I'm more drawn to the horns. So I like the left side. The horns.
valid.
Yeah, awesome.
So,
I can see a chess set with this.
oh man,
That was my
don't
first
get me
thought.
started. I would love to do a chess set.
Yeah, people got to stop giving me ideas for me.
You know, the funny thing is, I always imagine like what Sacrimony characters would be, like what chess piece, like which one would be the knight, which
I
one would
did
be
that
this.
too. Yep,
It's
that's the
it,
same thing I did.
See, the idea's already
it would
there.
be
I didn't
cool,
give it to you.
yeah. Because I was thinking of doing like a series of like the characters dressed as like chess piece themed costumes or something, like just for funsies. But we'll see. There's only so many things I can draw at once.
You have
But
to
yes.
clone yourself.
Oh, I always joke about that. It's like I'd need at least like 3 of me to do all of the things, like, or some of the things that I want to do. But I'm sure the other 3 will get more ideas, and then we'll just keep multiplying. And
See, it sucks because I'm lazy, and if I cloned myself, that one would be lazy too. So neither one of us would do anything but watch TV.
I
So-
don't know
I'm
if people
lazy,
actually
says the
think
person
about
who
that.
wrote 50 issues out of an 100
Yeah.
issue series.
That was
I
for
don't buy
fun.
that. I don't buy it.
Writing is pretty lazy. You just sit on the couch. So
I mean, drawing, you sit on a couch too, but I don't know.
fair enough. But
The brain, it is always working, and it is
I'm lazy
tiresome.
when not writing. How's that?
All right, that's fair.
Okay.
All
I
right,
have
Lee.
like one of 2 states of existing. I'm either drawing or I'm asleep. Like that's it. That's all I do.
That's life.
I don't have the sleep one, but I'm either drawing or watching. I'm either writing or watching TV. So
All right, Lee, your turn.
Yeah, I mean, I guess you can find me on Facebook, Instagram, that kind of stuff. But I guess on Saturday, October 14th, you can find me at Comic-Con. So I hope if you're there, come on and join us.
There you have it, folks. Lee will probably be with us on Wednesday as well, depending if Lee can make it. So we'll see what happens, and you can get more information there as well. And Patrick, go ahead, your turn.
Oh, excellent. Yeah, so I'm also going to be at Comic-Con on Saturday, the 14th. And yeah, if you guys are there, I know the day is sold out, but if you guys are there, please come down and check this out. Check out us doing Mark's story. If you want to know anything more about me, I'm a writer, actor, and director and editor. And you can go to petervanny.com. You can see my body of film work and upcoming projects and other things I've done. And everything is right there. So you guys check that out. And definitely, if you're at Comic-Con, come see us at 6:30 in room 408. Is that correctly?
Yep,
408.
right.
Yep, 408, 6:30 on Saturday.
Time slot. Good time slot.
Yeah, it really is.
You guys are better at remembering than I am. So there you go, New York Comic Con, 6:30, room 408. You'll see a
Yes.
bunch of us do a bunch of stuff, and you get some trauma trailers as well.
Yeah.
Is it going to be recorded so I can like watch later? Like,
Yes,
this
it
seems
is.
very interesting. Yes, like I can't be there, but I'm there in spirit, haunting you, and you won't be rid of me.
Yeah, folks, we're going to record it. You guys are going to get a chance to see it if you are not there. All right, folks, that is our show. This has been Apple Bites, where we take a bite out of the apple, share it with you, and show you what's going on. You've gotten a lot of great information today. Check out all these beautiful people because they are doing beautiful things and geeking out. All right, folks, what we do here on this show is we press the thing and the stuff happens.
I love it when that happens.
or stops
All
happening.
right. Of course, we give you a little bit right before